Hello and welcome back to the Wise Money Show. Black Friday and Cyber Monday are just around the corner with some of the best sales of the year. I don't know about you, but I love a good sale. But before you jump into the buying frenzy, we want to start with a strategy. These retail shopping days are designed to lure you in with these irresistible deals, so sticking to a plan can help you avoid overspending with that post-sale regret. So today I'm going to talk about 5 must-know tips to help you navigate Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Number 1, this one seems obvious, but I wanted to start here by saying, only buy what you can afford. Only buy what you can afford. This is really key because remember, these companies want to lure us in and say, it doesn't matter if you can afford it or not. Just buy because it is such a great deal. So they're talking about deals that causes us to want to swipe our credit card. So how do we know if we can or can't afford it? Really, the way to avoid or what to avoid is what I call avoid. Buy now, pay later. So this is really the one thing that lets us know if we can afford the purchase or not. Are we going to buy now and pay later? And this can mean 2 things. Number 1, a lot of these companies, especially furniture stores, West Elm, CB2, Pottery Barn, they have these buy now, pay later incentive programs where they're saying, hey, we're going to give you this great Black Friday deal and you can pay later. You can buy it out over time, which makes it sound even that much more attractive. But these things can get us into trouble. But if we have to pay later, we can't afford it. Another way is just through our credit card purchase, meaning if we're buying all these great deals, but we can't pay that bill off in full at the end of the month, we can't afford it. So it doesn't matter if they're deals or not, we need to avoid these purchases. Another way to stay within our affordability is to have a shopping list and list out what are the things that you want to buy for, during these days. And so for me, for example, there's this little gadget called Stream Deck. And I use Stream Deck for my big presentations, my big webinars and things that I do when I do big online virtual events. And I was going to buy it anyway. But I'm waiting until Black Friday because I know they're going to have probably 20-30% off deals on this little device that isn't inexpensive. So that would be an example of I'm waiting to buy for Black Friday, knowing I'm going to have a deal, but I was going to buy it anyway. So that's one thing, is have a list of these things that you want to buy and you're buying now because you're going to get probably the best deal of the year. A second thing is to have a budget. And I don't ever really like the word budget, but it's really appropriate here. Is like, what's the max amount you're going to spend during these 2 shopping days? So is it $50, $100, $500? It doesn't matter the amount, but just have that budget, have that ceiling or the limit of what you're going to spend. And you can do some research up front to know more or less what you're going to end up, because most of these companies are going to tell you, if you start now, what their Black Friday deals are going to be. So number 1, only buy what you can afford. Number 2, don't buy just because, fill in the blank, just because it's a good deal. I love a good deal. I'm a sucker for a good deal. And I've wasted so much money over my life shopping, just shopping and going to the clearance racks, for example, and buying all this stuff on clearance because it was 50, 60, 70% off. And I never wore the stuff because I wasn't crazy about it in the first place. I was just buying it because I got suckered in by the good deal. So I've really had to train myself now to not fall for it. And that's what we want to do here, is don't buy just because it's a deal. So you want to avoid the trap of buying it just because it's on sale. And the thing to ask yourself here is really what I said before, is like, would I pay full price? So if you pay full price for it anyway, then you're not buying it just because it's a deal, but you're waiting to buy because why not save the money if you're going to buy it anyway? Also, another way to think about this is needs versus wants. Because it's really easy to get all those, look at all those deals on those little things that we want, that would be fun to have or nice to have. But I really want to look at these types of days just for needs. Like, what are you going to buy anyway? What do you need that this time of year you can get on a deep discount on a really good sale? All right, number 3 here, value over savings. And I really like this one because value over savings, because we're buying things to save money. It's savings, right? But I want us to think of, it's not just about saving money, it's about value. So to think in terms of what value am I getting by saving the money, but also value, a way to think about this. And I think I really, before I make these types of purchases, especially purchases that are, in hundreds of dollars, but in more hundreds to thousands of dollars, but I'm asking myself cost per use. So cost per use, and this is especially, if you're thinking of buying household or like kitchen appliances. So last Black Friday, I bought a Vitamixer, and a Vitamixer, I don't know, it's a $600 or $700 blender. It's a very high-end blender, but they blend everything and they last forever. There are these, like this kitchen workhorse machine that will last forever, but they're really pricey. So I waited for the Black Friday sale last year to buy this Vitamixer. Now, when I look at cost per use, I use this Vitamixer every single day. Many times, multiple times per day. So the cost per use, I mean, if I tried to say like what's the cost per use on this, it would probably be in the dollars, if that in the cents at this point, in just a year later. So really think of things in terms of cost per use. Another thing, household or kitchen appliance, was something we bought was a pressure cooker. What do they call it? An Instapot. And an Instapot, lots of people buy Instapots, and it's, again, nice to have. It's on deep discount. They put it in their cupboard and they barely ever use it. So that's a very expensive purchase if you're not going to get cost per use. Again, we bought that Instapot and we use it all the time because we're busy professionals. Just throw stuff in there. It cooks it really fast, super delicious, really healthy food. And that purchase, again, is such a good value because of how often we use it. So I bought the Instapot and it's really good value. Somebody else might buy the Instapot getting the same deal, and it might not be value at all if they don't use it. So it's just something to think about, is cost per use. Another thing, value over savings. We get really used to buying stuff that just takes up more cupboard space, or more closet space, or more garage space. And again, we just start accumulating things. So sometimes we might want to look at, like, are there any Black Friday experiences? Like sometimes there's some cruises or there's some flights, or there's some holiday packages that you can get on Black Friday deals. So that's something to look at as well. It's like, hey, maybe versus just purchasing more stuff, would we get more value over some purchases that are more experiential, where we can save maybe several hundred or thousands of dollars? So that's number 3. Number 4, I like this one, is I call it don't buy hungry. And it's like we're always told, and I know I'm that way, is that don't go to the grocery store when you're starving, because you're going to put so much more stuff in your cart than you would buy if you went to the grocery store full. So with the same type of thinking is don't buy hungry, meaning be prepared, have your list. Don't go in just as a free-for-all. And another thing I say is, like, don't buy alone. So it can be really easy to splurge and do that impulse buying and really overbuy and overspend if we're just at our computer. We just go out to the retail shops alone and start putting stuff into the cart, the physical cart or the virtual cart. So do the shopping list with your significant other, or talk to a friend, get an accountability partner, that type of thing, just to talk through, like, hey, do I need this Instapot? And the friend or husband might say, I don't know, how often are you going to use it? And it's like, now that you put it that way, probably not very often. That might not be the best purchase. But don't buy hungry, meaning don't buy alone. Talk to others. Just have some accountability around this, because we have those dopamine hits. We start putting things in the cart and we feel it. We're getting all those deals and it says, you've saved this much. And you're like, yes, I've saved like $3,000 on a lot of stuff that doesn't offer much value at the end of the day, is going to cause us that regret. And the 5th one here is do your homework. And what I mean by do your homework is do some research, find out what are the retail prices, what are the normal prices. before Black Friday or Cyber Monday gets here, look at, okay, some of these purchases, what does it look like? What are they promoting are going to be their Black Friday deals? Because remember, these are retailers. They're really good marketers. They know how to price things and give incentives and do lots of tricks to get us to buy. And many times they're not good deals. So do some Google, do some searching and find out, is this a good deal or not? Now, there's some really good technology tools that you can use that I use to actually just do some price checking. So I don't know if you do this, but if you don't, I would really suggest that you look into this before you go crazy on Black Friday. So the first one is something called camel.com. And what this does is it tracks Amazon prices. So you just put in things that you are interested in, and it will track the prices of Amazon over time, like the ups and downs. So it's a great tracking system. And if you're a buyer, these are really good tools to use to make sure you're not overpaying for things. And I like to buy things, but I like to buy things at the best price. Like I am really annoyed when I buy something and find it for less. So I really like taking advantage of things like Camel. Another one that I use is called Honey. And Honey, I think, is just like a Chrome browser, for example. But Honey you can put in, and before I make purchases, especially pricey purchases, I put into Honey to see if there are any coupon codes, because sometimes there'll be Black Friday coupon codes, and that will give you an extra 10 or 20% off of what they're already promoting as their price. So Honey is a great thing to try to find those coupon codes at checkout. When you're in your cart, it just says you have a coupon code, and you put in Black Fridays, maybe BM or BF 2024 might be the code, but it goes out and searches these coupons that you can put in the cart that will save you that additional amount of money. So I love Honey. Honey saved me just definitely thousands and thousands of dollars. I'm always looking for the coupon out there before I make a purchase. And another one that I really like here is called Shop Savvy. And Shop Savvy it's a mobile app. And what I like about Shop Savvy is it allows you to compare, like if you're going to purchase the Vitamixer, for example, it will show the price of the Vitamix on the different stores. So you can do price comparisons store to store. What it also does, it does price tracking. So you can watch items, fluctuate if, the prices are coming up or coming down. You can set alerts on it that if you want to wait for it to drop to a certain price. I love that because sometimes I've got a price in mind and I'll buy once something hits that lower price because I know I've seen it on sale at that price before. And so, and it'll notify you when their price drops, for example. So lots of things in Shop Savvy. It's a really great mobile app. And I think also that even if you go into a store, you can do a QR, just take the QR and it'll tell you like what the price is at this store where it might be down the street at a different store. So really great app to have on your phone to save money. One other thing that I've always been curious about is that what's the difference between Black Friday and Cyber Monday? And I really didn't know. So I did some research to find out, does it matter? Are you going to get better prices on Friday or Monday if you wait till Monday in the same week, basically? So Black Friday actually was created out of the big box retail stores like Macy's and Dillard's and Sears and those back in the day, where what they were doing is they created these Black Friday deals that people just couldn't refuse to incentivize them to get out of the house the day after Thanksgiving, get into the big retail stores and buy this kind of pre-holiday shopping. So it was to incent shoppers to get out, being a little gluttonous over Thanksgiving, get off the sofa, get out and buy, and get those dollars in, those holiday shopping dollars in. So that's where Black Friday came from. And so it tends to be, even today, that some of these big box stores have still these bigger discounts on these bigger ticket items. And it's really designed for, usually, not all the case, but to think about it, the difference is the Black Friday deals are in-store deals. So if you go into Best Buy, or if you go into Walmart, if you go into Target, or if you go into whatever store you're going to go into, they're typically Black Friday. They want you in the store, and they're going to give you the best discounts in store. Okay, you still get them online, but just think of it that way. And on bigger ticket items like TVs and more expensive household appliances, maybe like a Dyson vacuum or furniture, things like this, like bigger ticket. That's something to think about Black Friday. Now, Cyber Monday, the history of Cyber Monday, which is so interesting, came out of when most people shopped in the big box store. So they shopped at the mall. So this was early days e-commerce when I don't know about you, but I remember when I barely ever did any shopping e-commerce. That was a little scary to put your credit card in online and stuff. And so what the e-commerce stores, like the early Amazons and different things, is they created this Black Friday to try to compete with the big box stores where people went into the store physically to try to incentivize people to start buying online. And so they gave these big e-commerce deals that you really wouldn't find in the stores. And this tended to be more software and subscriptions and tech accessories and just, anything that you might buy online, digital products, for example. So you can just see, just based on where each of these started, that, you're tending to find the deals over here, more in-box retail stores, these over here, more maybe a little bit lower price, but more tech accessory things, think e-commerce. Also, if you're looking at shopping for beauty products and clothing, that tends to be e-commerce, more Cyber Monday. And then I actually even read something which was interesting, that if you want to buy, for example, stuff for bedding, linens, bedding, towels, sheets, duvets, wait till January, where there's this, what is called the white clearance or something, that the stores tend to have the best prices on that. So it's just, you kind of have to pick and choose what are the best deals that you're looking for based on these needs that you want to buy. But at the end of the day, almost every product, every company is going to be offering some type of Black Friday deal. So take advantage. I buy on Black Friday because I've got my list of things that I want to purchase. And I love those deals. And Black Friday tends to have the best deals, where I'm looking at maybe quarterly event sales where I buy, maybe it's 20, 30% off on something. The same product will be 40% off during Black Friday. So it's time to stock up and do different things. All right, that's 5 tips to get you started. What to do next? First, please share this. If you found this valuable, share it with a friend so that they don't break their budget and their bank by these Black Friday deals. But also, I have a newsletter, and I write my own newsletters, and I mail it out, and I don't spam you, and I don't, make you want to, put a gun to your head because it's like, Krisstina, quit emailing me. But I'm very thoughtful about what I send out in my emails, and I write these newsletters. And so if you would like to join my newsletter, click the link up here or in the description and sign up for my newsletter so that you can not only get my videos, but read some of the stuff that I write as well. So to get more of these smart strategies and others, sign up for my newsletter, because I'm going to write in the newsletter, I'm going to be sharing some of the best Black Friday deals that I'm finding that I'm interested in, that you might be interested in as well. All right, that's it for today, and I'll see you next time.